And now lay on your back. Let the flesh of the buttocks be elongated away from the lower back, knees bent and feet flat. And then start to straighten out the legs. Take the strap in your hands about shoulder width apart and reach the strap up and overhead as the arms rest along the floor. And lengthen out your whole body here. Extended arms and legs. Hips reaching towards the feet, rib cage reaching towards the arms, legs reaching towards the feet, arms reaching towards the hands, and let the midsection, the lumbar abdominal region, receive that stretch. Be long and relaxed in the lumbar abdominal region. Active in the limbs. Deep breathing here. And then release and come out of the pose. Knees bent and feet flat. And now lay down on your back for a shoulder opening exercise. Have your knees bent and feet flat, your pelvis and spine in neutral. And then stretch your arms out to the sides. And start to slide your shoulder blades down your back. Stay long in the trunk, long in the abdomen, long in the rib cage. And pull the arms out to the sides, right arm to the right, left arm to the left. And stretch your arms out to the sides from the midline. So from the midline, you extend and expand your wingspan. And then press the backs of your hands into the floor as you press the shoulder blades up into the rib cage. So firm those shoulder blades up to the rib cage. Stretch more, extend through the elbows. Open the palms, open the fingers. And then as you exhale, release out of this activity. Now we'll practice another shoulder opening exercise called cactus. So bring your arms into the cactus position. So there's a 90-degree angle at the elbows. Elbows are shoulder height, and then the forearms are parallel to each other. Knees bent and feet flat, neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Slide your shoulder blades down your back and press your forearms into the floor as you snuggle your shoulder blades up into your rib cage. And then start to lift the elbows up towards the ceiling, keeping the fingernails down onto the floor, and then lower the elbows back down. And again, lift the elbows up to the ceiling, creating some deep external rotation in the upper arm bones, and lower the elbows back down. And keep going like this, keeping the fingernails grounded, feeling the shoulder blades sliding down the back and snuggling into the rib cage. Breathing here as you lift the elbows up and then lower the elbows back down. Now we'll practice a supported fish with a bolster underneath the rib cage and have a strap nearby for your hands. So lay back so the bolster supports you underneath your thoracic spine. Release the flesh of the buttocks away from the lower back, away from the back ribs. Knees bent and feet flat to support you, and then grab your strap and reach your arms up and overhead, hands holding the strap at shoulder distance apart. Enjoy this nice extension of the spine as you lengthen through the front of the spine and lengthen the abdomen, and then extend your legs. Stretch the legs and stretch the arms. Allow yourself to be supported by the bolster here. Become internally absorbed here. As you relax and release and gently guide yourself to lengthen a little more. Smooth and steady inhalation and a steady exhalation. And then bend your knees one at a time, place your feet flat, and roll to your side. Pass through your side to come out of the pose, coming on up to sit. We'll practice a version of Urdhva Hastasana with a strap. So hold on to your strap in your hands quite wide, and then lift the arms up overhead and put a little tension on the strap. Make sure that your feet and legs are organized underneath you. A little bit of space between the feet. Get long in the legs, grounded in the feet. Lift the low belly and stretch the whole rib cage up off of the abdomen so the front, side, and back ribs are all lifting. And then continue the expression of that rib cage lift by stretching and lifting the arms, lifting the strap overhead. Let the arms move back as the shoulder blades move forward into the rib cage. Head balancing right on top, lengthening the body here. And then exhale and lower the arms down. Now we'll do what I call a chest stretch with the strap, which is also a great shoulder opener. So hold on to the strap behind your back with your palms facing forward and take your hands quite wide. Have your feet and legs organized nicely underneath you. And stretch through the arms and reach the strap way back behind you. Get taller through the sides of your waist. Lift up through the side ribs and let your shoulders reach back as the arms reach back as you keep tension on the strap. Press the feet down and draw up through the legs all the way up to the lungs. Lift from under the collarbones so the anterior spine is very long, and keep reaching the arms back and start to reach the arms more and more up. So eventually the strap will come right up overhead. And once the strap comes up overhead, then start to extend and reach the strap back again, reaching the arms long behind you. Be very active and extended in your limbs here. See if you can create an internal lift in the spine from bottom to top. Keep reaching the arms back and then all the way down. And you can bring your hands a little closer together on the strap for the next time around if you want to make it a deeper stretch. And start to reach the arms back behind you, keeping tension on the strap, staying tall through the body. Shoulders back and down as the arms go up. Shoulder blades slide down as the arms reach back and up. Stay relaxed in the neck and the jaw and the face here. Lift and relax and open the back of the throat. Take the strap all the way overhead and then start to reach the strap, the arms, back and down slowly. Even as the arms come down, stay tall in the side ribs. And then release. Now we'll practice an arm stretch in Tadasana. So stand with your feet and legs organized underneath you, and then start to extend your arms out to the sides, the right arm to the right and the left arm to the left. Be very extended in your limbs. Long straight elbows, long straight knees. Lift the low belly. Lift the whole rib cage up off your abdomen. Lift the front side and back ribs, and then really stretch through the arms and start to flex at the wrists so the fingertips point straight up. Reach the shoulders back. Reach the shoulder blades down as you get taller through your side ribs. So the heads of the humerus bones reach back, shoulder blades slide down, and you get taller through the inner trunk, stretching open through the arms. And you can play with a little arm movement here, letting the arms reach up a little bit, reach back a little bit, flexing and unflexing at the wrists, stretching through the fingers, long in the waist, stretching through the arms. Playing with a little arm movement here. And then lower the arms down. We'll practice a version of Tadasana with a strap. So take the strap in your hands behind your back with palms facing forward. Bend your knees, parallel legs and feet, and roll your shoulders back and down. And then straighten the legs and straighten the arms as you slide the shoulder blades down your back and lengthen the spine from bottom to top. Get long in your trunk here, long in your side ribs, and feel the whole rib cage lifting up as you slide the shoulder blades down your back. So you can feel how those shoulder blades are in a separate layer from your rib cage, and let the heads of the humerus bones go back and down. Pull the arms down and roll your palms open, keeping tension in the strap. And then exhale and release. Now we'll practice prone shavasana with a blanket roll underneath the low belly. So roll up your blanket as you see here, and then come onto your hands and knees and rest your belly down on the blanket roll. And take the blanket roll fairly low in the belly, but the pelvis should be hanging back and over it. So you have to play with the placement of the blanket roll to find a good place in the low belly, definitely below the rib cage. But let the pelvis and the rib cage be on opposite sides of the blanket roll. So the pelvis relaxes on one side of the blanket roll and the rib cage relaxes on the other. And the abdomen recedes to receive the pressure of the blanket roll. Let the belly be soft and receptive here. And let the belly receive the pressure of the blanket roll. You can let your forehead rest on your forearms. Relax the legs and the feet. So you should feel some pressure in your belly here from the blanket roll. And adjust your body so that you can relax here. Adjust the arms and the legs as you need to. If you like, you can open up the arms and turn your head to one side if that works for you. And if you do that, just be sure to switch your head in a few moments. Breathe into your belly here. Breathe into that pressure that you feel in the belly. inhaling and exhaling here, let the upper buttocks release back and down away from the lower back. Heavy tailbone here. Soft, receptive abdomen. Smooth inhalation. Smooth exhalation. Allow yourself to be supported by the floor and the blanket roll. Smooth, gradual breath. And just observe here, observing each moment. And then come up to hands and knees to come out of the pose. Sit down on your shins and pause. Now we'll practice extended child's pose with 2 blocks. So have the blocks underneath your hands and come to hands and knees. Take your knees a little wider than hips, big toes are touching, and then pull your hips back onto your heels. And with extended arms, start to slide the blocks forward in space and lengthen the belly, the rib cage, the waist. As you stretch the arms even more, lengthen the armpits. Connect your hands into the blocks. Externally rotate the upper arms a little bit. And then inhale and lift your trunk up slightly and elongate the front ribs forward to lengthen the abdomen even more. Elongating those side ribs and armpits. Take the upper buttocks back and down, pull the hips back and down as much as you stretch your spine forwards. And see if you can relax any extraneous contraction or tension. And then inhale back up to hands and knees. Now lay down on your belly for Shalabhasana, and one at a time reach your legs back so that you set yourself up very long on the floor. Take your hands by your hips, forehead down, and then start to lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Lift your legs, lift the wrists, reach your chest forward, reach your legs back, and pull the arms back as you stretch your spine forwards. Anchor your tailbone down, lift the inner thighs, stretch the knees, open the toes, and lift those outer arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release down, resting your head to one side. And then turn your head and rest the other cheek down on the ground. Release and relax the buttocks. Now lay down on your belly for Shalabhasana, and one at a time reach your legs back so that you set yourself up very long on the floor. Take your hands by your hips, forehead down, and then start to lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Lift your legs, lift the wrists, reach your chest forward, reach your legs back, and pull the arms back as you stretch your spine forwards. Anchor your tailbone down. Lift the inner thighs, stretch the knees, open the toes, and lift those outer arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release down, resting your head to one side. And then turn your head and rest the other cheek down on the ground. Release and relax the buttocks. And now we'll practice downward facing dog with a chair. So have your sticky mat against the wall and place the back of the chair at the wall. And rest your hands down on the seat of the chair and step your feet back into a down dog position. So we don't want the back to be rounded at all or the pelvis to be tucked. Rather, bend your knees and lift your buttocks way up high so that your pelvis will tilt on the femurs. So the buttocks is lifting. And let the front of your spine be very long. Stretch through the arms, stretch the elbows, the armpits, pull the outer hips back, pull the inner thighs back, pull the pubic bone back and up behind you. And let the head release down and let the chest release towards the toes. Think of the upper spine, the thoracic spine, deepening into the body towards the chest. And then lengthen the trunk. Lengthen the outsides of the trunk and lengthen the inner trunk. Lift the buttocks up. You can keep your knees bent here. That might help you lift the buttocks and pull it way back. And then lean into the chair as you step your feet forward. And now stand near the wall for a side stretch. So you'll be about 1.5 feet away from the wall. Start in Tadasana. And you can have your feet a little bit apart, or if you choose, you can have your feet together. Lift your arms overhead, starting in Urdhva Hastasana. Roll the thighs in, ground your thighs back, press the arms back, and snuggle the shoulder blades into the rib cage so that you're lengthening the anterior spine. And then start to press your hips out to the right as you bend your body towards the wall. And take your left hand onto the wall. Press your hips away from the wall. Grounding down through your feet, draw up through the musculature of the legs. Side bending towards the wall. And as you inhale, create more length and even walk the fingertips up the wall. Be strong and long in your legs as you side bend here. And think of the thoracic spine deepening towards the chest. So make sure this side bend is not at all a forward bend or a rounding in the back. If anything, it's more like a back bend joining with the side bend. Press the shoulder blades forward and open the right ribs towards the ceiling and maybe even turn to look up. And then press your hands off the wall to come back to center, both arms lifting, arms and legs extending, and exhale and lower your arms down. And then turn around for the other side, this time the outer right hip near the wall, and lift your arms up overhead, firm legs, internal rotation in the thighs. Lift the rib cage. Create a deep internal ascension up through the central axis of the body, which runs along the front of the spine, and then start to side bend to the right as you press your hips to the left. And you'll feel those right fingertips come to the wall, and then the left fingertips come to the wall, and walk your fingertips up the wall as you deepen the side bend and create more length. And press your shoulder blades into the rib cage. Open the left ribs towards the ceiling. Press the hips to the left. And even look up towards the ceiling. And find a sense of a back bend inside the side bend. Buttocks releasing down. Pubic bone and tailbone reaching for each other. And then push off the wall to come to center, extending arms and legs. And exhale, lowering the arms down. Now come to the wall for an arm stretch, which is also a great shoulder and neck opener. So stand one arm's length distance away from the wall. Stand in Tadasana. And place your left hand on the wall and really press your left hand print into the wall. So open fingers, open palm, and press the left thumb mound into the wall. Stretch through your elbow and let your left shoulder move back towards the back of the shoulder socket and down. Let the right shoulder move back and down as well, and lengthen up through the inner trunk. Be strong in your legs and be in a firm and steady and long mountain pose here. Press your handprint into the wall. Stretch through the elbow. Let your head balance right over your tail. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back here. And then turn your left fingertips so they point behind you. So you'll turn your hand 90 degrees to the left. Press the inner wrist towards the wall, the thumb mound into the wall. Spread your fingers. Stretch through the elbow. And again, let the heads of the humerus bones move back towards the back of the shoulder sockets and down. And as the shoulder blades pull down, the upper trapezius muscles pull down. And then turn the hand again 90 degrees so the fingertips point down. Press the thumb mound and inner wrist into the wall. Stretch through the elbow. Get long through the trunk. Lift the low belly. Ascend the spine from deep inside. Breathing here as you feel the sensations in the arm. Breathe into those sensations. And then release your arm down and turn around for the other side. Place your right hand onto the wall now. Spread your fingers. Spread the right palm and press the thumb mound especially into the wall. Extend long through your right elbow and let the right shoulder move back and down. Let the left shoulder move back and down as well, and slide your shoulder blades down your back as you find a deep ascension through the inner trunk. Breathe into the sensations in your arm. See if you can balance your head right over the tailbone, right over the arches. Spread through the fingers and press your handprint into the wall. And then turn your hand 90 degrees to the right so that your fingertips point back. And again, press the thumb mound and the inner wrist into the wall. Stretch the fingers. Open the palm. Extend the elbow fully. And let the head of the humerus bones move back towards the back of the shoulder sockets. Let the waist move back. Let the low belly lift. Let the legs be strong. You can even think of moving the upper thighs back and the upper buttocks down. Create more space lengthwise in your whole body. So lift your pelvis up off your legs, lift your belly up off your pelvis, lift the rib cage up off the belly. And then turn the arm again 90 degrees so the fingertips point down. Press the thumb mound, inner wrist into the wall. Keep extending through the elbow and be in a Tadasana position in your body. Smooth breathing here. And then release your arm down. Now we'll practice Supta Padangustasana. So lay down on your back and have a strap nearby. And release the flesh of the buttocks away from the lower back. Thighs are parallel. Inner thighs and groins are relaxed. Pelvis is heavy and relaxed. And stretch your arms overhead along the floor to lengthen the trunk. Lengthen through the waist, the armpits, the abdomen. Lengthen the front of your spine and stretch and extend your elbows. Open the hands and the feet. And then take your strap and place the strap over the right heel. And then start to stretch the left leg along the floor. Internally rotate the left thigh. Lengthen the spine headwards. Let the abdomen be relaxed and long. Elbows wide, shoulder blades sliding down the back. Kick your right heel up to open up the back of the right leg. Internally rotate at the very top of the left thigh and pull the right outer hip away from the right waist. So you can keep your right knee bent a little bit, that's fine. Just kick your right heel up so that you're feeling an elongation of the back of the right leg. Imagine the back of the right knee spreading and opening and lengthening. Breathe into the sensations here. Here you can imprint a long spine and an open chest even while you're stretching your hamstrings. And then bend your right knee, bend your left knee, both feet flat, stretch your arms overhead, neutralize and lengthen the trunk. Relaxed in the pelvis area. And then lasso the strap over your left heel and kick your left heel up towards the ceiling. Pull your left outer hip away from the left waist. And internally rotate the right thigh as you start to stretch your right leg long. Ground the right thigh bone down. Be long in both sides of your belly. Elbows wide, shoulders moving down towards the sticky mat. Kick the left heel up to spread open the back of the left knee. So the knee can stay bent, but energetically lengthen the left leg. Rolling the right thigh in, pulling the left outer hip away from the left waist, organizing the tissue and the bones and the muscles here as you stretch, creating order and length. And then bend both knees, feet flat, reach your arms up overhead. Parallel legs, relaxed in the groins. And lay down on your back now for a supine twist. Extend your arms out to the sides. Lift your knees up over your hips. And then take your knees over to the right towards your right elbow. And rest your legs down on the floor here. And then reach the left arm to the left to increase the twist. Feel your belly rolling to the left as your legs relax more and more to the right. Have a sense of widening across the collarbones, long and wide through the arms, open hands. You can ground your arms down into the floor. Lengthen the spine here and turn the belly more to the left as you relax the legs more to the right. And then bring your legs up to the center. And take your legs over towards the left elbow, knees nice and bent. Take a moment as you settle your body here. Reach the right arm to the right to help open the chest. And let your belly recede and roll to the right as you relax your legs more and more to the left. Spread through the arms, long spine, smooth breath. Roll the belly to the right. And then take the legs back to center and feet down. Now we'll practice a simple groin stretch. Start on your back with a neutral pelvis, neutral spine, knees bent and feet flat. Legs are parallel, and stretch your arms overhead. Lengthen out through the arms. And then stretch the legs as well and roll the thighs internally so the fronts of your legs point straight up to the ceiling. And be very long in your limbs and in your trunk here, creating length. And then keep that length in the trunk, in the left leg, and bring the right knee towards the chest, towards the right side of the chest, even towards the right armpit. And grab onto the right knee with both hands and clasped fingers. And stay long in the abdomen, long in the spine. Extend long through that left leg, roll the left thigh in, and ground the left thigh bone down towards the floor. And then grab the right knee with your right hand only, as you see here, and start to pull your right knee out to the right. Stretch your left arm to the left at shoulder height, and open up that right knee out to the side. Stay long in the left leg. And play with moving around that right knee up towards the armpit, down towards hip level. And see if you can explore a groin, inner thigh stretch here as the right knee opens out to the right. And then bring the knee back to center and pause here. And then stretch your right leg out, lengthening it out as you bring your left knee towards the left side of your chest. And grab onto the top of the left shin with clasped fingers. And pull the left knee towards the left armpit as you stretch the right leg more. Internally rotate, especially at the very top of the right thigh, and ground the right thigh down. Stay awake in your feet, toes spreading. Long spine. Don't let your abdomen become hardened. A receding, long abdomen. Open chest, shoulder blades sliding down your back. And then stretch the right arm to the right as you take the left knee in the left hand only and start to pull the knee over to the left so the knee stays bent. And you open that left knee out to the left, staying active in your right leg. And play with some movement here, taking your left knee up towards the armpit or down towards hip level. Explore the range of motion here as you enjoy the groin opening. Reach the inner right foot forward and take your knee out to the side even more, deepening the stretch. And then take your knee back to the center. And then place your left foot down. Bend your right knee and place your right foot down. Now get ready for Supta Baddha Konasana. So have your bolster on the sticky mat lengthwise and have an open blanket near your feet as you see here. And tuck your buttocks under so the flesh of your buttocks is pulled away from your lower back, and then lengthen yourself back out onto the bolster. And let your feet come together and the knees open, and wrap the blanket over the feet. Find a way to bunch up the blanket so that you're supported. And then grab onto opposite elbows and have your arms all the way overhead. Relax and release the internal trunk here so that your breath can move freely through the trunk. Let the breath move up and down the spine. And as you relax in your trunk, see if more length comes naturally. Relax and release the abdomen, unsticking, ungripping any contraction. And then switch the cross of the arms and pull for a moment the elbows long behind you so that your arms are elongating out of the waist. And let your arms rest as you settle, as you elongate the exhalations here. Release and relax the hips and the groins. Enjoy the support of the bolster for your upper back. And enjoy the passive extension, allowing any tightness along the front of the spine to become open and free and long. And now open your arms out into a cactus position. So the elbows come towards the floor at around shoulder height. And the forearms are parallel. And your forearms may or may not come to the floor here. It depends on how open you are. It depends on the height of your bolster. But just explore this nice open position in the chest, elbows wide. Armpits releasing and relaxing. You can slide your shoulder blades down your back a little bit here. And if you need to change your arm position, that's also fine. Smooth inhalations, smooth exhalations. And feel the entire length of your trunk from the pelvic floor all the way to the thoracic outlet where the neck meets the trunk. Feel that length. Feel the dimension of your trunk, its depth, its length, its width. Relax internally here. And then roll over onto your side to come out of the pose. Now we'll practice Shavasana. So we'll have a bolster to support you underneath the knees and thighs. And have a spread out blanket on the head side as you see here. So lay down and adjust the flesh of the buttocks so that it's moving away from the lower back. And then start to roll up your blanket so that we'll have this nice roll of support underneath the neck. So find just the right amount of blanket roll for underneath your neck. And then slide your shoulder blades down your back and release the arms so the palms are face up. And once you feel fairly organized here, then really relax and release.